Today we're diving into the work of a technologist who seems to live in two completely different worlds at the same time. You've got the world of code and systems on one hand, and the world of story and soul on the other. So how do those two realities fit together in one person? Well, let's find out. So check this out. On the left, you see AI architectural design engineer. That sounds exactly like what you'd expect, right? Grounded in logic, structure, systems. But then on the right, you have mythic technologist. I mean, that's a title that brings up ideas of story, purpose, maybe even something spiritual. These aren't just fancy job titles. They really represent this fundamental puzzle that we're going to try to unravel. So that's our goal here, to peel back the layers on these two very different portraits. We're going to try to find the thread that connects them and really get a handle on the single, unified vision of Daniel E. Scott. So which one is it? Is he the grounded, experienced systems engineer? Or is he the big-thinking, philosophical visionary? To get to the bottom of this, we've got to start with the foundation, the engineering itself. Right, before we can even begin to understand the visionary, we have to get to know the engineer. So let's start with the hard facts, the concrete foundation of his career, which was built over 20 years of actual hands-on experience. His career spans more than 2 decades, and you can see he started right at the metal, as a hardware technician way back in 1999. From there, there's this clear progression, moving through production engineering into security, and now to where he is today in AI architecture. This isn't just theoretical stuff he read in a book. It's a deep, practical history working with both the physical hardware and the code that runs on it. And just look at the sheer breadth of his technical skills. It's pretty telling. He's totally comfortable with high-level Python for data crunching, but he's also doing low-level systems work like BIOS flashing. That range, all the way from abstract code to physical hardware, it really shows a holistic, deep understanding of how tech actually works. These are the credentials of a seriously seasoned engineer. Okay, so we've established this rock-solid technical foundation, but you know what? That's only half the story. Now we're going to make a shift. We're moving from the resume to the philosophy of his company, Mythik Media, to see how that technical foundation supports a much, much bigger vision. This quote, this just perfectly captures that shift in perspective. We didn't just build software, we encode story, safety, and soul. That tells you right away that he's not just building tools. He's trying to embed a deeper meaning, a real purpose, directly into the architecture of the technology itself. He has a name for this approach: emotionally intelligent systems. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, it's this idea that technology isn't just a neutral thing. It should be explicitly designed from the ground up to honor core human principles. So think of it this way. Instead of a tool just being indifferent to you, it's designed to be actively aware of and supportive of you. It's technology built with empathy, literally baked into its DNA. And this whole philosophy really rests on 3 core pillars. First, honor lineage. Practically speaking, this means building software that understands its own history and, more importantly, your personal context. It doesn't treat every single interaction like it's the very first time. Second, honor neurodivergence. Now, this is a really powerful commitment to designing for all the different ways people think and process information, instead of just building for some imaginary neurotypical user. And third, honor sovereign design. This is all about giving you, the user, true autonomy and control over your own data and your digital life, fighting back against systems that try to lock you in or take away your agency. And hey, this isn't just a bunch of theory. He's actually implementing this vision in 2 major projects. There's MythOS, which is a virtual ecosystem, and then there's G.R.A.C.E, an AI orchestrator. Now, G.R.A.C.E is a really fascinating example. Imagine a system designed specifically to help caregivers manage these incredibly complex tasks. We're talking advocacy, scheduling, medical paperwork, the whole 9 yards. The AI isn't just there to be efficient. It's explicitly built to be a supportive, humane partner in what is a very demanding human role. Okay, so now we can finally connect the 2 worlds. How did those deep engineering skills we looked at earlier actually serve this big philosophical vision? This is where the code truly, truly meets the concept of care.
This is it. This is how the translation happens in the real world. A totally standard technical task, like setting up a dual-partitioned SSD, well, in this world, it's not just for efficiency. It's for the seamless integration of different parts of a person's life, like their creative publishing and their caregiving work. The scripts used to set up a system become a way to ritualize technical acts. Even a simple changelog gets reimagined as a lineage-aware diagnostic. The key takeaway here is that every single technical choice is being made with a higher, human-centered purpose in mind.
So, the ultimate goal, then, is to transform software architecture itself into a form of advocacy. It's about building a system that isn't just helpful, but by its very design, is built to actively support and protect the people using it.
So what's the one prime directive that ties all of this together? For Daniel Scott, it really boils down to a single, really powerful concept. And that directive is love programming. And yes, it's an acronym. It stands for Learn Others Value Existence. This is the philosophical core, the engine that's embedded in all of his work. It transforms a technical practice into a deeply ethical commitment. And this quote shows you exactly how that directive is applied. It's not just some nice idea, it's a functional mission statement. Every line of code is written to uplift, protect, and empower. This reframes the act of coding into an active, ongoing commitment to human well-being. So, what does this all add up to? Well, it really pushes us to ask a much bigger question about the purpose of technology itself. Can we, or maybe more importantly, should we, be building our systems to have, for lack of a better word, a soul? And that leaves us with this final question that really wraps up his entire philosophy. And honestly, it's a challenge to anyone who builds things. What if we totally reimagined the purpose of our work? Could every single technical act, from flashing a BIOS to writing a simple script, be seen as an opportunity to heal, to support, to care? It's a pretty powerful idea to think about.